investigation into illegal drug activity, sales of illegal drugs, which led to obtaining a search warrant. The search warrant was executed yesterday at about 6 p.m. at 1103 Kelly Road in the city of Oneida. Arrested was a Michael Matzel, age 25, and Molly Frank, age 23, of that address on Kelly Road. During the search warrant, they seized heroin, methadone, Suboxone, marijuana, LSD, scales, and a quantity of cocaine along with cash. The charges, the highest level charge was an A2 felony, which is criminal possession of a controlled substance in the second degree. There was a B felony for possession third, criminal possession of controlled substance in the seventh degree. We had 3 of those, along with criminal use of drug paraphernalia and possession of marijuana. A second search warrant was executed at 334 Stone Street in Oneida. Stephen Engel of that address was charged with criminal possession of marijuana fifth and criminally using drug paraphernalia, an A misdemeanor. Matzel and Frank were arraigned and committed to Madison County Jail. They will appear on today's date, and Engel will appear on April 15th to answer the charges.
And was this one operation between the 2 residences, do you think, or?
They were connected.
Okay.
Yeah. One other thing that we did find during the investigation that we'd like to point out to parents is that they were using Sour Patch Kids. They put acid on the Sour Patch Kids and then sell them for use. We just like to reinforce that parents, if your kids are coming home with candy they shouldn't have, or just to reinforce with them, don't eat candy from someone else or from out of the package, just as a safety precaution. In this case, there wasn't anything that showed that kids were being sold to candy or had access to it, but it's just as a safety precaution.
Okay. And to me, this looks like this was a pretty large operation. How does this compare to other busts that you've done in the past?
This was large scale. It's unusual to have so many different drugs. Usually they'll deal in 1 or 2, but you got heroin, acid, marijuana, and cocaine, along with pills, which is unusual, and a large quantity of the stuff.
What do you think this shows about the drug trade here in Oneida?
Well, I don't think we're any different than any place else in society. It just seems to be a lot of more prevalent drug use, drug abuse, drug sales. We've had a lot of arrests last year. We're continuing. Unfortunately, it seems like you make an arrest and someone else comes in to take their place, but we're staying on top of it. Drug investigations, any kind of tips anybody calls in, we try to do what we can on them, and hopefully lead to something like this and get some of these drugs off the streets.
And in addition to, when you have breakthroughs like this, do you have any other ongoing programs to help curb the sale of drugs in the city?
Well, we don't have any DARE program right now with finances and budgeting. It's a little tight, so we've also looked at some of those programs, and we found that unless they're reinforced by the parents, it's not real effective. The main thing is the parents got to reinforce with their kids the dangers of drug use, drug abuse. We try to do what we can as far as talks at the schools, and again where we can educate parents, kids along those lines. But the big thing is the parents have got to get involved.
Okay, and I know you said that this is basically no different than any other city, but have you noticed a major increase in drug trafficking over the years, or?
Yeah, over the past few years, we've had more than in the past. As the times change, it just seemed to have picked up.